We're going to work through the two student problems that we have on proportions, solving for y. I had an earlier video where I explained how to do this, and there will be a link up here at the end that will show it. So let's get right to it and solve it. You can write a proportion in two ways. One of the ways is to write the two comparisons with a colon in between them. And so that's what example A is. So in example A, we want to solve and find out what y value will make this true. And we use a one-step equation after we start the process and the inverse operations to solve it. All right, so we take and we multiply. That's what that's got an X in there for. We're multiplying y times 6, which gives me 6y. And then we take and we're multiplying these two. We have 5 times 36. Don't know why I wrote a 6. Sometimes we do things and our mind doesn't catch up with what our hand does, and vice versa. All right, so now I have to take 36 times 5. This is an arithmetic video, and you can hear Brack starting to whine a little bit. Brack is my 3-year-old Italian sheepdog, and he wants to lay down where Bear is laying down. And Bear is my 12-year-old Peekapoo. So when we multiply using the traditional algorithm, 5 times 6 is 30. Carry the 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 3 is 18. So that equals 180. So 6y equals 180. For your information, Bear finally moved and Brack was able to lay down where he wanted to underneath my desk. So anytime I have 6y equals 180, that's called a one-step equation. And you can use an inverse operation to solve it. So 6y means 6 times y. So I want to use the inverse of multiplying by 6. That means the opposite of multiplying by 6, which is dividing by 6. But if I divide the left of an equation by 6, I have to divide the right by 6. These 6's, 6 over 6 is 1, and 1 times y is y. And then 180 divided by 6. Again, this is an arithmetic class, so let's just practice the arithmetic. 6 will not divide into 1, but it will divide into 18 3 times. 3 times 6 is 18. I subtract. So I have to put a 0 in there. 6 goes into 0 0 times. So my answer is 30. So we are saying that we believe that y is 30. That means I can rewrite it with 5 colon 30 and say that equals 6 colon 36. Now, do you remember what we did? We put a question mark here and we say these two multiplied together will equal these two multiplied together. Well, let's see if that's true. 30 times 6. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 3 is 18. So this left side is 180. And we're saying, are those two equal? And then we take our 36 times 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry the 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 3 is 180. It worked. That means that y really does equal 30. All right, I'll erase this arithmetic here. Sometimes a proportion can be written as a fraction equaling a fraction. And when you do that, you have to use what I taught my middle school students in pre-algebra as the butterfly method. I am going to multiply the 6 times the 20, and it equals 24 times y. 6 times 20, we're doing arithmetic here. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 2 is 12. So I've got 120 on the left equals 24y. y. Now this is a one-step equation. I use inverse operations to solve it. So how do I just get a y on the right? I divide by the coefficient so that the 24s will cancel out. So 24y divided by 24 equals 120 divided by 24. So if I divide the right by 24, I have to divide the left by 24. And 24 over 24 is 1. So I get my y, which is isolating the variable, which is what I wanted. 120 divided by 24. So I take my 120, divide it by 24. 24 will not go into 1 or 12, but it will go into 120 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20, carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. And it terminated, which means 5 is my answer. So, just like we did here, let's check it just to make sure that 5 really is the answer. So what do? I rewrite my original, only instead of a y now, I'm going to substitute what I say it equals in the substitution property of equality. And we say that equals 24 over 20. I don't know if it's true, but when I do the butterfly method and cross multiply, if it really is true and they equal each other, it means my solution is correct. So 6 times 20, does that equal 5 times 24? So 6 times 20 is 120. 5 times 24 is 120. It does work. So if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, there is a subscribe button down here. Click on it, subscribe, so you can watch more of my videos. If you're watching this on TikTok, and if I post it on TikTok, I may or may not, then you can look at my profile and there is a link to my YouTube channel, and then this would open up my YouTube channel and you can subscribe there. I am Mr. Chu. This was our student challenge problems on proportions. This is called tray arithmetic. Up here will be a link for my original lesson on proportions on the introduction. Down here will be the playlist of other lessons, other videos you can watch. Join me and I'll help you learn math. We'll see you next time in tray arithmetic.